And then we moved into to the Emirates, and for years I've watched, you know, some good football. Some times we've opened up teams, but also I've seen us get embarrassed, and it's never really felt like home.
Brentford go and beat them or draw them, and I still want us to beat West Ham.
Yeah, 100%. I want to get wrapped up. I want to get wrapped up. I'm
with you, Marty. Like,
just listen. If Tottenham get relegated, absolutely fantastic, great stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, I want this league wrapped up, and then let's ease some pressure so we can go into the final 2 games. Hopefully, they drop points, and then we go and beat West Ham, and they drop points.
You know, like, but Brentford and Bournemouth. Can you get your head around this? One of them could, if they produce a good enough run to the end of the season, will get Champions League football next season.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Invincible podcast. I am back. I've not been here for 2 weeks, obviously in Uganda for one. I don't know why I weren't here for the other one. What was
weren't available for selection.
Weren't available for selection. Why was that like? You know what I mean? Can't remember that. Like,
probably jet setting somewhere.
I think I had to do something else, and they shuffled me around.
Oh no, you had to go to the Emirates for something. That's right. You was doing something.
Yeah, I was doing something else, and it was.
We got blown out, me.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like, but listen, guys,
the candles.
Yeah, I've missed you. I've missed doing the podcast. You know what I mean?
Has that got anything to do with the other night, Lee?
No. What happened the other night? You know what I mean? But no, it's good to have. Listen, the last time I was on, it was a little bit of doom and gloom, boys. You know what I mean? Like, what a difference a week makes in football, because I think like the game against Newcastle weren't a great performance, and then obviously the 1-1 draw was brilliant. But then I thought Fulham. I don't know about you guys. I think that was put a little bit of pressure on Man City the following day or whatever it was on the Monday. I think we played on a Saturday. They played on a Monday, didn't they? And then, you know, like they dropped points against Everton. Fantastic game of football. And then the next day, wow. I've seen you. We've had a little chat. I ain't seen you, Chris, since.
Well, it's the greatest night ever at the Emirates. That's one.
Yeah. What do you think of it? Did you see all the?
Yeah, I revelled in every moment of it, Lee.
Yeah, great.
It's fantastic.
Did you like go up there before when the coaches were?
Yeah, I've done all that.
It's incredible, wasn't it?
And then for once, we fronted it up. You know what I mean? I thought we were absolutely superb in that game. And the amount of satisfaction I get watching Miles in midfield, I can't tell you. How many times have we spoke about that on here?
How good was he?
I mean, he could get in the England World Cup, so.
I think, honestly, his 2 performances have been just like unbelievable. And I get it. People turn around and say, oh, well, it's Fulham, you know what I mean? And he then goes and does it against, a team that I have to say, midfield-wise, they never committed. There was, you know, I mean, if you've done something silly in there, they would have exposed it, like, you know what I mean? But he just kept it really, really good and all that, like, you know. Just before I come on to Marty, like, you know, what does that mean to you? I know, like, we ain't won it yet, but to get to the final.
Because it means, for someone like me who's been following the Arsenal a long time, that is the holy grail. And if we, please God, win it, that, you know what I mean? That's me. I'm sort of done in a way. I've done the lot. Do you understand?
I've got
closure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
No, but that's. Do you know how I felt? I went back in time. I know that sounds silly, but emotionally, I was very emotional after the game. But then I went back to. Do you remember we played Moscow Spartak and lost 5-2 in the
what a
UEFA
great point.
Cup?
And they got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And they wanked us 5-2.
5-2. That was a UEFA Cup.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I like, you know what I mean? And I dreamed that Arsenal would even play in Europe. Like, you know, we never got to, you know, I was watching Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Liverpool, etc., etc. We was never ever even in the competition. And like, you know, all those years later, you know, obviously I just went back to all of those times, and then like, we're there, Marty, like, you know what I mean? I think if anybody comes up and says you shouldn't be celebrating,
I'm not having that.
I'm not having that. I'm not having Gabby,
I've got no clue. No. They go at Arsenal and talk sport about. And the thing, what he's got to realise, people like that, who really got my goat, it's just a release of pressure, but also, I don't want to get too
Yeah,
sort of morbid. In the last 20 years, I bet everyone in that ground has lost someone.
Well, I've lost my dad, like, yeah, exactly.
And then, so I used to go, my dad took me over the Arsenal. He's gone. My mum used to love Arsenal. I've got two massive friends that are big Arsenal fans. And it all...
100%.
So don't tell me also how to celebrate.
100%, like, you know what I mean? I've got, like, you know, obviously, like, I did think of my dad when I thought with Kevin, like, you know what I mean? Like, when it's there. I've got my mate Adrian, who's in hospice at the moment, like, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully, like, you know, we'll still be here when we get to the final and win it, like, you know what I mean? So people to disrespect that.
They're disgusting.
It's unreal, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was very emotional that day. I'm not gonna lie, because of exactly what you said, like, you know, Claude, God bless him, was another guy I thought about.
He would have loved it.
Yeah, and I did think, you know what I mean, like, when that game finished, I can get upset now. I did think of my dad, like, you know what I mean? You know, he was obviously alive for the last one, but I don't know, but I might see something that my dad never see, and that was Arsenal be European champions, like, you know what I mean? So that's how emotional and how big it was. What about for you, Marty? Like, what was your overriding thoughts of it, like, you know what I mean?
Do you know what? It's funny, you were both saying exactly that, what you're talking about. So for me, I loved Highbury, okay? That was where I grew up watching Arsenal in the mid 80s, okay, and going there, and that for me, that was home. That was a sanctuary that I used to go to, where I used to love watching football, and it was one of my favourite places. It was a place that I could stand there and look around the stadium, and there was always something so interesting. There was always the stands, just the way it was laid out. And I used to love watching us play football there, and obviously we got to our last Champions League final there, and that was essentially the close of Highbury. Yeah. And I remember when, you know, we found out that we were going to be building, you know, what was called Ashburton Grove, which turned into the Emirates, and feeling rather disappointed, excited that we were going into this fantastic new stadium, but at the same time leaving a place that I loved. And, you know, I still look at it now. I still pictures of Highbury, and I still, you know, I've still sort of Googled, you know, and anything, when I see anything on Instagram about Highbury, I still find it fascinating. And then obviously Arsene Wenger made us this promise. This is why we're moving to this new stadium, to compete. And like you said, I remember watching the last Champions League final, and I watched it with my dad, God bless his soul, who's not here anymore. And that was one of the last real poignant moments I had with him, where we watched the game and we bonded. And you know, he told we had some real magical. We had some real sort of conversations I'd never ever had with him in my life, that I needed to have some closure on some situations in life, and obviously we didn't get the result. And then we moved into the Emirates, and for years I've watched, you know, some good football, sometimes we've opened up teams, but also I've seen us get embarrassed, and it's never really felt like home. And then 20 years down the line, you know, as I see this process that people talk about and people laugh about, and, you know, what phase of the process you're in. But I think for me, the people that laugh about that, sometimes you might set up a business in life, and sometimes it clicks, and sometimes it earns money, but sometimes you might set up a business, and sometimes it might take some real hard work, and you might have to go through some highs and some lows. But then when it clicks, and then when it goes, you start to reap the rewards and the profit of your hard labour. And what I saw the other night at the Emirates was an emotional moment for me, because, and I like you, I was obviously celebrating, I was shouting, I lost my voice. I mean, you listen to me at the fan cam and everyone was like, oh, you've lost your voice. But it was kind of backed up. I was on Prime at the end, screaming and shouting. And then at the end, I'm not an emotional guy. I'm hyped up emotionally, you know, after fan cams, after stadium, I go for it. I love that embellishment, but actually emotionally sort of release. I'm not that sort of person. I'm quite good at holding it together, but I remember standing there in the stands, looking around and just feeling the stadium and just taking in what I'd witnessed. about Arsenal and the relief of the last 20 years and thought, finally, we are back at the promised land. We are back in a position where we are one game away. We are back at that final, and I thought of my dad and all those emotions of sitting there watching that game with him, and the conversations all came back. And it was pretty overwhelming.
Yeah,
and I actually, after that game, I left the stadium, I watched a bit of it, and I had to let people leave. I actually had to walk off, and usually I'd go to, obviously, AFTV straight away. I'd actually had to walk off and just go and spend a moment with myself, to just sort of process everything and just to calm myself down. And then obviously, and I saw a few people along the way that knew me, and they were like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Look, I'm fine." And they was like, "You look like wow." And I was just like, "Look, I've just had a sort of like a bit of a spiritual experience, which I'm not kind of into that."
An epiphany.
Yeah,
Do you know what you're saying?
And then I went over there, and everyone was like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Have you just witnessed what I've just witnessed in there?" That atmosphere in there and that night is the best night of football I've ever witnessed in my life. Emotion and vibe-wise, everyone was going for it. And I tell you what, the players, that was a street fight, and I love that. I love it. It was dirty. When Martinelli gets the ball and throws it into the crowd, and then he goes, no, don't throw the ball back in. Then the ball comes back out to Kepa, and Kepa boots it off. Good. That is what we've missed in his... when Berta comes out the touchline, out the thing, and starts waving the game off to the ref, and Simeone comes over and he has it with him. We've missed these Arsenal teams. We've missed this fight. We've missed this battle. People that want it, that want to have it with the other team. Because this is war, and if you want to win these trophies, you need to be up for it. There ain't no messing around. It's war. And I tell you what, big respect to Mikel Arteta and big respect to the boys for standing up and having a bit about them and showing the world exactly what we're about. Now you've got 4 games of football, 4 games to go and win. You win them, you do an Invincible Champions League, and you go and win the league, and you do a historic cup double, and I'll tell you what, I will love that.
I love it, like well, the thing about that game, I'll go with you on this, Chris, like, you know, we've been to cup finals since moving to Highbury, like the FA Cup, the League Cup final. So it was different because it was the Champions League final. Wasn't it? Did you feel that? Like, I felt the emotion. Like, I never sat there being emotional when we got to the cup final.
No, it's weird, isn't it?
But this one, I did it. I sort of reminisced about it. I know it sounds silly.
No, it ain't silly. We were in the same boat.
I floated back to Munich and in the hotel when we lost 5-1, and I was sitting there having a drink with my mates, like going, you know, we've been.
I'll tell you another semi-final was when we got humiliated by Man United.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
The pain we suffered that.
Yeah.
And then the 06 final, we were 20 minutes away from winning it.
Yeah.
Henry missed. And then obviously
I've never watched that back, you know.
Then they went down the other end.
I've 2 games I've never watched back.
Man City in the League Cup 3 weeks ago.
I've never watched that one, the 3-0 one, like, but like you know, one. Like the pivotal ones, like I've never ever watched the Old Trafford one when they beat us to stop the unbeaten run.
What was that?
Have you not?
Yeah, never. I've seen it, watched it at the game or whatever, but after that, never watched it. And I've never ever sat down and watched that Champions League final.
Always remember coming back to London the following morning, on the back of the Evening Standard, ref, I got it wrong.
Yeah, unbelievable.
When he sent off Lehmann.
Lehmann doesn't get sent off, we win that game. We didn't concede a goal in the entire...
And also...
we should have let them score, shouldn't they? They went 1-0 up, really. They scored.
That also marked the end of Perez's Arsenal.
Yeah, last time, like, you know,
yeah,
because he got taken off and all that, like, you know.
But, you know, that's so... But we got to win.
I think, like, you know, for me, listen, you know, if you're a Liverpool fan, they've been in it, you know, a few times and obviously won it 6 times, and Man United have done it, like, you know.
Chelsea?
No, they've not done it. Chelsea have... That's asterisks to them, like Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa. I've seen all those teams win it, and you know, good luck to them and all that. Like, I'm not one of these people now. I'll be really honest with you. Like, I want Crystal Palace to win the conference.
Definitely.
I want Aston Villa to win the Europa League.
I don't know about that.
I do. I still do, because there's a lot of good fans out there, and I know that they let us down, and you did against Tottenham and Emery. You know, I mean, a shocker for that. But at the end of the day, I want them to win. Like, you know, I know
how many of them want us to win?
No, none of them. But that's the way it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest. None of them will want us to win that. But we're different. You know what I mean? I'm not because Aston Villa don't want us to win that. It's not that I don't want them to win that. But what I'm saying is because it's the Champions. You know, like, being honest here, like. 3 competitions, all English clubs in a final.
This is what I mean. Do you know what? The reason why I want all the English clubs to win it is because it strengthens our position in Europe. Because I'll be honest with you, we've been let down this season by teams in our Champions League. We've been let down. You know, we've been let down by Man City. We've been let down by Liverpool. You know, we've been let down by Tottenham. They're putting really poor performances in the Champions League and they've been knocked out, smashed up and dumped out the competition. Arsenal were the only ones this season that have really, you know, flown the flag in Europe, in the Champions League. Fair play to Crystal Palace. You know, what I love about that, they won the FA Cup last season, right? And now they're in the final and they've you know, that'll be
dumped out Europa League as well.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think this competition suited them and I think they're going to go on and do it and I really want them to. I love Crystal Palace as a football club. I think they're fantastic. And to see them win that, I think, and do you know what? Their fans are the most grateful fans going. When they won that FA Cup, what it meant to them, and they haven't watched that in 6.
So that was their first trophy.
Yeah, first ever major trophy. And now the season after, for them to go and win another trophy, they will love that.
I'm all for it, like, you know. Plus Crystal Palace give us Ian Wright, you know what I mean? So there you go.
Yeah, and we've got to go to a league title, chaps.
We've got to
go. We haven't spoke about that yet.
Well, no, we will talk about it. One thing before we park the European bus for a few weeks. I've been so invested and so wrapped up. I know you have as well, Chris, with the league. That it's been when we play Champions League games, it's been a relief for me, a respite from the pressure and whatever, like, you know what I mean. But all of a sudden on Tuesday, it sort of hit me that we was in a semi-final. I didn't really.
No, I'm with you. It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. It never really registered. And then when I'm watching the game and everything like that, and I don't think it's really sort of set in with me yet.
I'll tell you when it will, when the whistle goes at Crystal Palace, and then the build-up starts.
Yeah, go from there, like.
There'll be loads of, like, on the local news, pictures of Arsenal fans getting on airplanes and things like that.
I'm not interested. I know it sounds silly now. I'm parked it now, like.
Yeah,
it's now fully focused on West Ham now, and listen, I'm going to talk about that last minute goal that they scored, Man City. Like, you know, it could still come back and haunt us. You know that because
I do know that
it was done. You know what I mean? That goal gives them an opportunity. We cannot afford to draw this game because I'm telling you this scenario. Like, if we don't win if we draw that, they are going to go. If Man City have to beat Aston Villa by 6 goals.
Done.
Right. Aston Villa will lose by 8. Right. You know what I mean? Like, Emery will just put out. He won't have anything to do with that. Like, you know. I feel I don't know what's going to happen with Crystal Palace now going forward.
I'll tell you what will happen with Crystal Palace game. That's 3 days before they've got a final which they've never been in their lives. You think they're safe? Listen, let's be honest, right?
No, but they've still got to go City as well.
They're safe. They're safe from relegation. They ain't getting relegated. It's simple as that, right? And I know that is the problem. They've got to go to City, but they do actually do well against City usually. They do, but
they're not going to be. Listen,
they're not going to be at full throttle. Of course
they ain't. And like, you know, like, and what I'm saying is, like, you know, they don't want to get injured for a final. Listen, exactly, I think in the next 2 games, I think Man City could pull up cricket scores in a couple of those games. So listen, they've still got a difficult game against Brentford, and they've still got a difficult game against.
That's the game.
Who both can get in next year's
Champions League because
Brentford's the game. Brentford's the game. That if they drop points and then we go and beat West Ham and they drop points.
That you know, like, but Brentford and Bournemouth. Can you get their head around this? One of them could, if they produce a good enough run to the end of the season, will get Champions League football next season.
It's amazing,
if Aston Villa win that. Like, unbelievable.
So 2 tough games.
And part of me thinks, right, I don't care who wins at Bournemouth and Brentford. Both, you know, be unbelievable. But let's talk about Bournemouth. If they were to get a Champions League, going to have a new manager coming in to manage in the Champions League, and like Keith Andrews, if he got that is incredible what's happened to them. Like
he's got to be manager of the season.
I think it's incredible what they've done. Like, you know, so listen, we'll see what happens going there. But West Ham on Sunday, it's a real funny situation because, like, you know, on normal circumstances, we'd want West Ham to win this, wouldn't we? Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, but we have to do what we have to do, and that means, I'm afraid, we have to win this game.
But if how ironic we could keep Tottenham up.
Yeah,
one of the biggest ironies of the season, isn't it, really?
And we're going to have to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to. Oh, I'll put another scenario here then. Like, you know, Brentford win on Saturday. What do you still want to?
Oh yeah, but if that happens, a draw wouldn't be the end of the world, would it?
It wouldn't be the end of the world because a lot of my Spurs fans are saying like they don't want us to win it, but they want us to draw it, like, you know. But which will help them out. But for me,
do you know what?
If they go and beat Brentford, go and beat them or draw them, and all, I still want us to beat West Ham.
Yeah, 100%. I want to get this wrapped up. I want to get this wrapped up. Done.
I'm with you, Marty. Like,
just listen. If Tottenham get relegated, absolutely fantastic, great stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, I want this league wrapped up, and then let's ease some pressure so we can go into the final two games. Hopefully, if Man City slip up, and then we've got a Burnley with basically no manager that are relegated. That should be a cricket at home. That could be an absolutely epic Monday night at the Emirates where it just goes absolutely nuts.
So we want that, don't we?
Yeah, that's what.
Sorry, they have got a manager, haven't they? It's Michael Jackson or something. They've got a manager.
It's
Thriller.
Someone like that.
But listen, like if you're tying the background there, like, you know what I mean. So thank you, Si, for that contribution. You know what I mean. But what I'm saying is, it is right. Listen, I ain't taking any team for granted. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that'd be easy, but because of the pressure that we'll be on, I don't know what's going to happen. But it's going to be a tough game on Sunday night.
Because they're going to be right up for it.
They're going to be right. Now, I was gutted when they lost to Brentford. I was absolutely gutted when they lost to Brentford because I felt that was probably another nail in it. And I think if we do beat them, I can't see them going to Newcastle. I can't see them going to Newcastle and winning them. And
I think Tottenham will beat Chelsea. Who at the moment are the worst team in the league.
Newcastle in no man's land.
Yeah, sorry. He's actually their interim manager is Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
How mad is that? Because he used to play for them. He's their interim manager.
Oh.
And I'm on with
Thank you very much for that, Simon.
Thanks for that piece of information. It's also for me personally. What I'm focused on getting West Ham done, and then hopefully City drop points, and then that game against Burnley. I'd love to win the Premier League and experience that in the ground with the the players, the fans afterwards. Like everyone's like, oh, it's Monday night.
Can I say about that? One, it's on a Monday, which is a disgrace.
Yeah.
But B, say it comes down to it. In a lovely world, why can't I also ask the Premier League to kick off at 7:30? Because it kicks off at 8, the game ends at 10, and there will be people going out of the ground because they've got to go to school, got to go to work.
Oh, no, yeah.
Start 7:30.
Yeah.
9:15, done.
Yeah.
Somebody done all your procession and all that.
Yeah.
It would hurt, would it?
Yeah,
I get it. Listen, but we don't know if that's going to be the case.
We must stop.
That's what I always say. Try and down it down, whatever it'll be like. You know what I mean? The reality is, it's probably going to go to the Crystal Palace game at the end of the day.
Well, what a terrible ground for it to go.
Yeah, it's not the best of grounds to go to.
There'll be Kate, Marty, that South London streets would be packed. They wouldn't be able to cope.
I know. Do you know what? That's the thing with it. It's kind of winning it away with away fans.
How do you celebrate?
We have a lot. When we've won the White Hart Lane, but it was like
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford.
Obviously, Anfield, the most famous.
And we won it at Old Trafford on a midweek game as well, didn't we? Like, you know what I mean? It was like a Wednesday night. I think Wednesday night.
We have won the league before on a Monday, Lee.
Yes, White Hart Lane, Tottenham, like, you know what I mean? So like, we have done it. We have done it on midweek games, and we've done it on away games and all that. Like, you know, ideally, I don't give a. I don't wear it. I just want us to win it. You know what I mean? Like, it's for me. It's this game. I'm going to be really honest now. I am more nervous about West Ham than I was on Tuesday night. I'm going to be like,
this is the weirdest thing. This is the weirdest thing. I don't think I've ever seen you so calm before a huge game of football as I did on, was it Tuesday night?
Yeah.
You were sat there, you were like, yes, I'm going to enjoy the game, it's great. And I was like, usually you're like, all worked up and
It's a league for me. So
you were just calm as
it.
I can't have Man City winning that league.
No,
I'm not having
I think that helps me. It helps as well. Like, I mean, I just want Arsenal. For me, listen. I don't know how I'm going to be emotional when we win the league again. Like if we win the league, I'll be emotional because two things on that. I've gone through a scenario over the last 20 years when I thought we're never ever going to win it. You know what I mean? Like 10 years ago, we were so far off. I've never ever thought, and for me, just challenging would have been nice. And we've done that now, and we've now got a chance, win 3 games of football, and we've won the league. You know what I mean? I don't know how I'm going to feel, but for me, it's the be and end of. It's for me, don't get me wrong, I'm going to love the Champions League.
It's the cherry on the cake.
Yeah, it's cherry on the. Yeah, it's a bonus. For me, I just win that league, and it's not just the 9 months of this year. It's been like the 3 or couple of it. I've been invested in it. And I do think, I don't care what anybody says, I do think we deserve to win it this year. I think we've been the best team, and the stick and what we took at Manchester City, Ty's here, he would tell you as well, how horrendous that was up there to just stand there and take it. You know what I mean? Like
the geezer with the bottle.
The bottle and you know what I mean, coming up to you in your face and going second again, you know what I mean? Like,
switching talk sport on.
All of that, just go out there on Sunday and just blow West Ham away, you know what I mean? And that's all I ask. That's all I ask. And I will be nervous before that game. When it comes to the Champions League, as I say, I've been cool and calm and that. I have to say the way we played that game on Tuesday made me calm and collective. I never felt we was in danger of losing them scoring. I think, but with this league, I just, we put ourselves in a position there, and I have to say, when he got that equaliser in the last, it's a great goal as well. Like that deflator, we had it. That goal could come back and haunt us, and that's how I feel like. You know what I mean? And this is mad. He's got we was talking about it on the predicted 11 night. What does he do now with the team? When you go we can rotate and all that, we don't have to rotate no more because we've got
game 1 a week.
We've had 4 days off since the last game night. Now we play on Sunday, then we don't play till Monday, and then we don't play till Sunday again. So we've got the players are going to be rested,
and then the
Champions League
for a week after.
Mourinho could be back.
Yeah, so. And what do you do with the team now? Keep the team and the ones that are in the.
Do you know what?
They've got the shirts.
You got to keep the same.
So that's Calafiori over Nketiah. I thought very harsh.
I do. Do you know what? I thought Calafiori came in on the game against Fulham. Obviously, the disallowed goal, there was offside. It was offside. Unfortunate, great finish. And then the goal that Leno saves, he comes out to punch it, and he actually luckily saves it with his head. He punched it, it bounces off his head over the bar, so that would have been a goal. That was just a complete and utter fluke. I thought Calafiori's fantastic. What he does offer slightly differently from Nketiah is obviously, I think, as physical as Nketiah is, I think Calafiori is, and he marauds around the pitch, gets into spaces. He adds a unique attacking threat going forward, and I think defensively he's very strong. And obviously he's very good aerially. He adds another dimension to our set pieces. And look, for me, what it is the team you've played in the last 2 games, they've won those games, so you've got to stick with that team. Miles Lewis-Skelly, I love Zubimendi. I think Zubimendi is a fantastic player. I really do. I think for me, he's one of the buys of the season.
Been overplayed.
But Miles Lewis-Skelly done the job against Fulham with a man of the match performance, and he done the job against Atletico Madrid with a man of the match performance.
So
he's got, for me, he's earned his space, and Zubimendi at times has, with whether it's a tiredness thing, it's Miles Lewis-Skelly has earned. You can only go off your last game. Now, if Miles Lewis-Skelly goes in against West Ham and has a stinker, you change, or doesn't perform, you change him out.
I agree. And with Zubimendi, I think with Zubimendi, I think you're right. He's been over. He's just tired. Nothing against him. Like he might come back and still. He done. By the way, he thought he done well when he came on Tuesday and done it. Well, what I'm saying now with Nketiah, I think Nketiah was our best player out in Madrid. He's been left out because probably like the game against Crystal Palace to rotate a little bit, but Calafiori was outstanding. It will be out of all of the players. You know, even like go like. Trossard deserves to start over Martinelli at the moment, like, you know.
And how about Ben White?
And Ben White, we'll talk about. I'm going to have a little chat about that in a sec. It would be arse on Nketiah, but I like Ty. By the way, I won't give out too much. He went for Calafiori as well, like, you know.
But the thing is, remember what Arteta says about finishers. You could start with Calafiori. No one was saying Nketiah is not going to come on.
Yeah, and see it out, sort of thing, like, you know what I mean. No. So. I'll go there. And we'll go over to the other side now. The Timber one's starting to concern me now. It's like, how many more weeks is it going to be?
I think he's out.
Yeah, so say if he is it. Right, even if he comes back, when are you going to play him? When are you going? You can't. You know what I mean? Like,
if he's ready, he goes straight in. I'm sorry. He's just one of them players.
What 6-7 weeks out?
Doesn't matter. He's just one of them players. Like, listen, what I'll say, Saka. How many weeks was Saka out? You bring him straight back in. He lights the place up, mate. He was absolutely fantastic. Saka in the Fulham game.
Yeah, but Saka's only playing half hour.
You know, he ain't fit. Did you see the interview with Henry?
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is he can come on defensively. You don't want to be changing defenders too much.
What we saw with Saka is against Fulham. He starts the game and he locks it up by half time. And then what Arteta did, see you later, mate. You ain't playing the rest. We don't need you to.
That's great. Yeah. I don't know if you can do that with fullbacks and defenders. I don't think you can be messing around. The thing is with Ben White, I will say like this, and you know, obviously I agree with Timber. He's been outstanding. But Ben White does link up very, very well with Saka.
He does.
I thought he was outstanding, by the way.
That was the old Ben White.
Yeah, he was. Like Lookman, by the way, everybody's going about how great, and they've got a kick.
Yeah.
You know, and I know what you're saying. We've got that when we played PSG, we got these, you know, tops up. We're playing three cup finals now, and if you're playing Ben White in all those 3 cup finals, it's going to be hard to leave him out. Like,
the thing is, you know, and Ben White, and you also know Calafiori. I don't care how many days break you've got, I ain't going to play in every game. You know that, don't you? Unfortunately.
Yeah, because of like the injury problems that they have, like, you know what I mean. So
I think what you've got is you know, we've come out of this.
When are you saying that Timber has got to be backed to push him into these games?
If he's ready to play, you play him straight away. Him for me is one of those players.
So right, he doesn't play in any league game, right?
If he's fit and he's ready to go.
So you're saying like, so you're playing 2 months, and so you'd play him in a cup final if he's had not 1 minute's football.
Listen, unless Ben White was over these next 3 games, if Ben White has an absolute worldie every single game, then obviously I would stick with him just out of performance.
So Ben White's got what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying. He's got the opportunity now to keep
there's an opportunity, but if listen, you can't ignore. Listen, you can start with Ben White. You can bring Duran Timber in. You could either or. If you start with Duran Timber, and if after 30 minutes he's not at the races, you be that ruthless and you chop him out.
I'm with you, but I think that Timber's got to be back now. He's got to be back now.
What to get some form together?
Yeah,
I don't think
10, 15 minutes at the end of every game, 20 minutes.
I think for me, there's some players like you saw with Calafiori come straight. Calafiori's been out for ages, comes straight in the team and he performs. He was fantastic. Saka comes straight in the team and performs. There's certain players in football that, however long they're out for, they just come back in and they just get the job done. They don't need so much game time.
And Timber's quite good at that, isn't he?
I just think he's one of those players. For me personally, I might be wrong. Listen, of course you need to ease him back in with training. I get that, but for me, if he's ready, he's ready. And that's it. There are other players that I've watched over time that have needed a bit of game time to sort of catch up with the pace of it.
Well, Ben White being one of them.
Yeah, thank you. There you go. But I just think during Timber is that good that he just like slots in straight away.
He'll be up against Bowen Sunday, won't he, Timber? Because Somerville's on the where is Somerville?
Somerville plays on the left.
Yeah, Somerville.
So Calafiori, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that'd be difficult, like, you know what I mean? What about you? What's your thoughts on the Ben White situation?
Well, I thought he really shocked me the other night. He sort of rolled back the years. I thought he was outstanding. But
And that was third game in 6 days.
Yeah, good point. So I'll tell you the game I would play him in. I'd definitely play him in the Champions League final.
Would you?
Yeah.
What, because of pace?
Yeah.
What, Timber?
Yeah. So really, I want him to have a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, that's.
I think when he's, who's he up against? Possibly the best left winger in the world.
Well, I don't think possibly. I think he's.
He is. So
I thought he was. I think he's outstanding.
He's.
I want Timber there.
He's good. Finally
I
good.
think Arteta would go with Timber and all.
Yeah, but I'm with you on that. But Timber's got to get back sooner rather than later. Like, you know, like, he's been out nearly 2 months now. It's a long time. Like, for Mourinho, I'd love to have him back on the bench because he's something that can even if it's a couple of games. There are rumours that he's back in training at this moment in time. Like, you know what I mean? So, and that if them two were to be back, that means the whole squad is fit and available, like, you know what I mean? So that would be an unbelievable scenario. And that. One question I'm going to ask, going into the West Ham game, I know your answer to this.
Do you? How do you know that?
Like, you know what I mean? Because I know, like, you know.
What?
If one player I didn't think was great, I thought he hadn't done okay on Tuesday, was Eze. Like, you know what I mean?
What?
So I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was at his very, very best against because of the circumstances, like the way that they played it differently. Yeah, he didn't really do a lot. He didn't do a lot as far as I was concerned. Like, you know what I mean? But I think that's the way that they played. They never really come out, did they? And he didn't get the spaces in and around where you want him to get in. But he still done his. Like neat and tidy stuff, but he was okay. I think like Odegaard come on and we went down a different route of keeping and all that. What for me, I've got to say now, Eze plays on Sunday, like, you know what I mean. I think because there'll be a little bit more space in that side, but there is going to be a conversation between Eze and Odegaard.
Thing is, I don't know if you saw, the Norwegian manager said yesterday. He was talking about Odegaard's injury, and he says it's not ideal. So there's I don't think Odegaard's still not fit, mate. I would not be amazed if he didn't go to the World Cup, actually.
Really, I think over the next, whether you think this is wrong or right, how I see Odegaard's role in the next 3-4 games is
coming on.
Yeah, I see Eze doing what he's got to do, and if the game needs it to be shored up a little bit, maybe somebody else coming on instead of Eze, like, I don't know, a Zubamendi. Or I see if we need to just control the game and Odegaard coming on and doing that. But I do actually see for these next 4 games, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, because he's your captain and whatever, I do see Eze as the guy.
Yeah, you know why? Because Eze, whatever you say about him, it could be 0-0 Sunday in the 83rd minute.
And he'll do something. That's yeah, exactly. Good that night. And I thought he struggled a little bit in that game again because of the way that, but you always feel that he could do something.
This is the thing with Eze. He's a moments player. His ball retention's fantastic. His touch, his control, his ability to turn in tight spaces, his ability to receive the ball and turn and beat a man, and his ability to find a pass, pick a pass anywhere is phenomenal. And first and foremost, his ability to finish, whether it's one time or take a touch, to jockey the defender and and then stick it in the top corner, bottom corner, anywhere, side netting. That for me is what you need, is a player that, like you just said, in the 83rd minute, and you need a goal, and you give him the ball outside the area, and he just sticks it in the top corner.
Do you think he could? I don't know about this Odegaard thing. It worries me a little bit, like, you know what I mean? That with Odegaard, I hear everything you said. The one thing that Eze doesn't do is what Odegaard does, is he controls the game. Right, that's what, sometimes you're going to need that. And I still think Arteta likes that. Do you think that he could bring Odegaard back and maybe put Eze out? I'm not for that. But that's the, you know.
No,
but
I'm
I think
sure,
I'm not sure because
go back to what I said about Arteta likes finishers, doesn't he? He might start off with Eze and bring Odegaard on.
And is that what you see, that sort of role for Odegaard now? Like,
just mainly because I don't think he's 100% fit. It's a bit like Saka, who, by the way, after listening to his interview with Henry the other night, and I don't know if you saw it at CBS, Henry says, I know what you've gone through, you're playing with a lot of pain. And Saka says, I know, but I've got to get on the pitch. That's what he said. So there's no way on God's earth I want to see Saka on the plane to America.
Yeah.
Of rest.
Yeah.
Do you think that, what, you still think he's in pain now then, or?
Yeah, I was watching that interview. It's on YouTube. You know, if
I think that there was obviously an issue. I think it's probably. But listen, if he's only going to play him 60 odd minutes, listen, if he's only playing 60 minutes for the next 3 games, like say for instance the next 3 games and the cup final, he's playing 60 minutes and coming off, then I'm with you. He don't go to the World Cup. I don't want him going to that. But this is the thing, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
can we just quickly talk about something that I want to talk about?
Yeah.
This man.
Oh, we were sure, but yeah, you're correct.
This man.
Oh, yeah,
I thought, for me, the last two games is the best I've ever seen this guy. Against Fulham, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And then the other night, I thought he was brilliant. Do you know what? I watched that ball. Remember that guy, that chance he misses where it comes flying over in the second half?
That's difficult, that.
Oh, no. If that goes in, mate, and I tell you what, the pace, I saw that in front of me, and the speed that ball comes in, such a difficult chance, it just goes over. But I think he's been these last 2 games, bear in mind, Ty will correct me, because I know he's there, he scored 21 goals in all competitions. Asleep actually now. So he's scored 21 goals in all competitions, which everyone was like, you ain't eating. I know, he's crashed out. Everyone was like, oh, he's not going to score over 15. 21 goals in all competitions. And do you know what? But what I saw the other night is in the Fulham game, the link up with Saka, taking it to the goal against Atletico Madrid, he takes it to the byline, ball goes over to Trossard, Trossard puts it back in, and Saka's in the right place at the right time. Against Fulham, the header where Trossard puts the ball over and he's leaning back and gets the power on it. And then on the first goal, leans back and goes, bosh. And then obviously the first goal, again,
I'm going to bring in Atletico Madrid away as well. I think it's 3 games. Man. I think he's been
take some big balls, that penalty.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, the penalty. We won the penalty. I thought he played really well out there.
See, but the Gooners are sat here and slagged off in August, September, October. He's not the Gooners I'm watching.
No. What do we think he's saying? Like my mate Ken, you know, Rick Kim was doing.
I think we got
Ken was saying like he's got his girlfriend back, like, and
apparently,
and he was saying he's getting lots of, and a woman had a go at him, like, he was on his phone like going, "I was getting." She went, "That's very feminine." Sorry, like
you don't know.
You don't know. Like he seems to be more relaxed,
and his pace is sharper,
a little bit sharper. And I think that comes with confidence.
And I think he's more physical. Do you know what? He's getting into people, and you could see the aggression.
What do you think has changed in that?
Maybe that, mate. You never know.
Well, you go 2 or 3 games ago, Man City away. I go to that game like we said what the team would be. I know that I said Havertz, you said Havertz as well. Do you think he's looked at that and gone, right? I've got to do a little bit more in my hold-up play, because his hold-up play since then has been so much better. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I'd say he looks more comfortable about himself and all, doesn't he? You know, like when you've seen when they do like the training on Arsenal.com, and the other day he was having a laugh with everyone and joking. 6 months ago, he was walking around the training ground. You know,
I think he's starting to feel at home at Arsenal and in this team, and he feels settled. You could. Yeah, but sometimes I think that sometimes you actually can say that
it does take someone time to settle in. Like, I mean, like it does.
The famous Robert Pires.
Yeah.
When we bought him, Wenger left him on the bench of Sunderland away, first game of the season. And Pires said, "What the fuck? I've got to go up."
Yeah, but it is difficult, and he has, like as you said, like, you know, I mean, 21 goals this season. Like, I think he's behind behind a couple of unbelievable. Malcolm McDonald, I know, is one. I think Ted Baker's another one.
Sanchez.
As I said, Malcolm McDonald. And Thierry Henry.
He scored more than Sanchez did in his first season, has he?
No, I think Sanchez is up there 24.
Yeah, okay. But our season ain't over yet.
And our season ain't over yet. Like, he's still got 4 more games, so he still could be like, you know, there's some big hitters up there. Don't
forget when Henri came to the club, he took
Southampton away. Was the
numerous games to settle in fully, and then but Dennis Bergkamp for the same thing. He was getting hammered in the press for 6 months. Like, absolutely hammered when he came over. Look at that, and I'm not saying he's, I'm not.
Steady on.
No, I get it. What I'm saying
is he's it takes a bit of time. January he's been a lot better, hasn't he? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
I've got to apologise to the geezer. I think he's done fantastic, and the crowd love him. I'll tell you that now.
Well, I'll tell you what,
the crowd love him.
I'll tell you what, with an Arsenal player, as a fan, you know what I mean? You've got something. If they're working hard,
we'll accept it.
And the work rate he's put. I forget about his performance on Tuesday night. The work rate of him. I'm thinking, well, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a guy that wants it. This is a guy that, and that's all. You know, if you see someone a little bit lazy and all that, you don't like it there. But I think his endeavour, his work rate, and all that has still won over the Arsenal fans. And I think, like, at the end of the day, it's not a bad first season, whatever happens, like, for him. Like, and I think he can get better.
Would be for him to hit a really important goal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think that would be. We're talking about the cherry on the cake for him. I'd love to see him hit the winner in the Champions League final.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
That's it then.
But people go like, people have had a little bit of a dig at him and going, how he scored these goals, and they put them all up on Sky or whatever it was last. None against the top 6 side, right?
Okay.
But Madrid away.
Okay.
Is that not a big game?
Let me say something on that, right? Because this is something when people say, he only scores against all the lower teams and all that, and he can't score against the big sides. Well, okay. If you look at Arsenal's record over the last few seasons, we haven't had a problem scoring against the big sides. It's the lower sides that we've had problems scoring against. So that is where he's perfect for this Arsenal side.
That's what, exactly.
Yeah, because he fits into his side, because he scores against all the lower sides, and that's what we've lacked. Yeah. So maybe that's what he's been brought in to unlock these teams. Yeah, but they are the lower side. So
I thought,
but it's true, like, you know what I mean, like, and at the end of the day, like, look, listen, again, there are people have been critical and all that, but like, he's winning everybody over, and he's, I think he's. Listen, for me now, people have a go at me about Kai Havertz. I still think he's a great footballer, but he don't get in front of him in these next 4 games.
Not at the moment. He don't look right since that.
I think unless there's a catastrophic, downturn with this Arsenal side, and we go on and lose the next 4 games, which I just can't see happening, right? It makes you. I sit here now, and it amuses me. All the crap that people have chatted, and I'm going to call it as it is, the crap that people have chatted about this side, going, they play boring football, the manager's got to go, this player ain't good enough, Jokeres wears jeans, this, and all that, right? And I've had it all season, people chatting so much rubbish. I heard someone say the other day, do you know what, even if Arteta wins the Premier League, I still want him gone because I hate this football. And I just thought, mate, you need to be locked up somewhere with some padded walls, and some handcuffs or something like that, because you ain't right in the head, right? These people that are just so fixated, and they're supposed to be Arsenal fans, but as a supporter of my club, I support my club. I support through thick and thin. God, albeit even if it was in the Championship, right, I'd still support my side. Why? Because I support my side. Not that's where I want to be. Of course I want to be winning things. Of course I want to be in the Champions League final. Of course I want to be 3 games to go, and if we win them, we can win the Premier League. Of course I want to see a historic double. But for me, I support my club, and I love the club to bits. do you know what? This situation we're in here now, we're in a Champions League final. We haven't been here for 20 years. And you've got to give some real respect to the club. And the club, imagine working for the club. Imagine being some of these players. Imagine being Mikel Arteta. When you're trying to build this and you're doing all of this amongst all this outside noise of the criticism and all the grief you're getting in. It just shows how focused they are on getting to where they have. You know, and listen, they've got to get the job done. They've got to get the job done, and it's not over yet. But you know, they've
shut out a lot of noise, haven't they? I think you've got to admire that.
Well, they have, but there's still certain people, certain radio shows still giving it that.
Yeah, and
I don't know how. I'll be honest, and I've said it. I'll say it on here. Like, I don't know how Sky Sports can allow someone to come on and start going, you can't do this, slagging like Jamie O'Hara. Like, I just don't understand why would you do that.
This is absolutely killing Jamie O'Hara.
I'll tell you what,
it's that Champions League final. If we are, mate, that is sending this guy under.
And do you know why it is?
Yes, I do. And Cundy.
Because I've experienced exactly what they're going through when it was Spurs. I had the worst.
Yeah, well, I remember that.
Worst time until June the 1st that they played in that final and lost. Up until that my life was, I couldn't live. I was thinking about moving away. Do you imagine? So I know how he's feeling and all that, but I just think like, you know, these stations and all that now, it's all about clickbait. It's all about things. It's not being. You know, this wasn't happening.
You can see they're broken, man. They're broken inside. They are absolutely
But they shouldn't be going on a national TV show where we pay subscriptions to watch football, go and slag off fans for celebrating, not doing this, not doing that. And what really annoys me about it, like Jimmy Hasselbank, another one like, you know what I mean, slagging them up like, and then like, then someone showing a picture of him in the Europa League semi-final when he played for Middlesbrough, celebrating like anything. Don't tell me that what not to do and what like that. And then the next day I see PSG celebrating. They've won it the year before, just as much as what, and rightly so. Like, you know, what I mean,
so this is where that point is absolutely absurd and makes absolutely zero sense. Okay, so and I'll tell you why. So the next time Arsenal score a goal, and we don't celebrate it. Well, you're telling me that when teams like, let's say Chesterfield, a random team, or let's say Wigan in League One, when they score a goal, do their fans not celebrate? Oh, don't worry, well, we're not going to win the Premier League. We're not in the Premier League, so let's not bother celebrating a goal. Listen, when you win games of football, you celebrate, and I don't care whatever. It's like telling a Tottenham fan when they don't win a game, they don't celebrate. Now, of course they do. This is what football's about. So when they start saying things like that, I look at them and I think, how can you actually get away with saying such stupid, ridiculous crap?
Well, you know what?
As that?
People ring up. That's what it's.
Yeah, it's just I don't listen. Like, listen, I think that you should celebrate. You have more lows in football than you do highs. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. It's like highs and lows. It's an emotional game.
And you're right. There's teams playing this weekend that they're not going to win nothing. They're not going to get relegated.
So they're not going to celebrate their goals.
They're going to be like, you're joyous when your team wins and all that.
Millwall, they're at Hull tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, it's big.
I bet they're celebrating.
Yeah, it's some big games and all that.
You score goals, you celebrate them. Because
what's wrong? You shouldn't apologise for it.
Nah.
And they're going on about why you're not celebrating, why are they celebrating about being in a Champions League final? I'll tell you what, O'Hara, probably because you've never, put your team into a Champions League final.
I think it's a massive thing.
It's
and
ridiculous.
That will be celebrating on Sunday.
We will.
Please God, yeah.
We'll be all right.
Before we go, what's your prediction?
Well, look.
I hate where we have to give predictions.
I've actually been pretty spot on with the last few of them.
No, go on.
I'll
let you go,
right?
yeah.
So,
I'm following.
Okay, and I'll tell you why, and I'm going to explain. The last few times we've been to the London Stadium, we've actually got some really good results. We pumped them 6-0 one time, and the other time we pumped them 5-2. I think it was 5-3. Sorry, Ty. Thank you for correcting me. I think we were we 5-1 up or 4-1 up at half time?
I think we was, yeah.
Yeah, and then
5-1
up at half time. Then they got a couple back, and then. So I'm actually going to stick it out there, and I'm going to say 4-1.
Marty.
What are you going for, Chris?
1-0.
1-0. I'm going to go 2-0. Ty,
But can I,
3-0.
can I
Ty's
just say,
going.
if by some miracle Brentford get a result against Man City, and Brentford won't go out, I don't care what anyone says, Brentford won't go out there to defend.
No, that'd be an
They got
interesting
that
game.
wonderful geezer up front. If they was to get a result, then a draw at West Ham wouldn't be the end of the world, by the way.
There you go.
But it's an if.
I'm going to go 2-0. Before I go, I'm playing in a charity game tomorrow in the Arsenal kit for Gary Lewin and Colin Lewin, like physios at Arsenal. It's their charity.
Where is it?
Concord Rangers. That's Canvey Island, 3 o'clock kickoff.
Okay.
So if anybody's in that area, come and watch me play in the famous Arsenal red and white kit.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to it, to be fair. Like, you know what I mean?
They're in the Ryman Premier, aren't they? Concord Rangers?
Yeah, we had our county cup final there. Like, you know what I mean? We know where I scored that penalty. You know what I mean? I'm sure you've seen it.
I think
that was at Concord. So I've got good memories of it.
Who's playing in it?
Lee Judges is, I know that. Like, you know what I mean? Jason Lee. Do you remember Jason Lee?
Jason Lee, yeah.
And I think there's a few ex-pros and all that playing in it. Like, you know what I mean? So if you're around that area, come down and see. Like, you know what I mean? Saturday.
What time's kick-off?
3 o'clock.
What's the address?
I don't know. It's Concord Rangers and it's Canvey Islands. It's a lovely little ground.
There you go.
As well, like, you know
Good
what I mean?
pitch.
So pitch nice.
Yeah.
The pitch was nice when I played there. About
What, you in the
it?
red and white
April.
Predators?
I've got the red and white Predators ready for that, like, to go with the Arsenal kit.
Nice,
You know what I mean?
nice.
Yeah, well played, look.
No,
You got judges on the back of it, yeah?
No, I don't know about that. Like.
The judge.
Got a number?
No, I ain't got a number yet. Like, you know
mate,
what I mean?
come on,
What number? Like, what number shall I have?
What number do you play?
14.
I normally play 7 or 8, so that's all right.
What are you on the right? On the right?
Right side, yeah. We've got a cup final tonight, by the way, like, you know, for Waltham Abbey Vets as well.
What, you're
like,
playing?
Playing over at Letchworth tonight, like.
So you're playing tonight and you're playing tomorrow?
I'll be on the bench tonight, like, you know what I mean? So
Why?
Well, because I'm like old.
It's a cup
you know what I
final.
mean? So yeah, but you know, I'm a finisher.
Okay.
We got some good players, and I do well to get some sort of minutes tonight, like, you know what I mean. But and obviously I've only just come back from injury, so
Yeah, okay.
But
Game
like,
management.
Yeah, so I'll hopefully get some sort of minutes tonight, but then, like, you know, play tomorrow as well, like, you know what I mean.
That's
So
nice.
big game, like, you know. So, like, guys, thanks for joining us. I've really enjoyed that, like, you know. Listen, it's been an unbelievable week for us, really. Like, starting off last Saturday against Fulham, what happened Bank Holiday Monday as well, and then, like, you know, Arsenal.
We said this last week, didn't we, Chris? We said this time next week, the conversation we could be having.
No, we're back this time next week.
Yeah, we
We
don't
say
know.
it every week.
This is the thing with football, but
So this
no
time
one can.
next week, we would have played
West Ham.
West Ham.
They would have been to Bournemouth.
They know that they would have played Brentford and Crystal Palace.
And then they're in the cup final.
In the cup
And
final
we're
on
the
Saturday,
We'll
and
be
we're
sitting here thinking about
looking forward to
Burnley.
the Burnley game. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
So
they play their cup final's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday, isn't it?
not this Saturday, next Saturday.
Yeah. So by this time next week, we would have played West Ham, and they would have played Brentford
And Crystal Palace.
and Crystal Palace in the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in theory, we could by this time next week be looking at.
We're safe, but I'll tell you
Yeah,
one
you
thing.
could.
I'll tell you one thing, guys. Arsenal in the Champions League final. We're going to Budapest. Until next week.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andre from Oxford Natural. If you're looking to make a change, improve metabolism, energy, sleep, take Optimum Day and Optimum Night.
These have helped me so much in my weight loss journey. The Optimum Day helps you with your metabolism burn during the day, and the Optimum Night helps you to have a good night's sleep. These have been brilliant for me. And if you're interested,
Take our 90-day challenge.
click the link in the description and you can get 70% off with your first order.